Hey y'all, this is Aisha, aka Minnesota born and raised 88, and I am here tonight on a solo mission. Oh, this is gonna be my first solo episode. This is kind of weird, but it's something I'm passionate about, y'all. It's something I'm passionate about, so I really want to give some inspiration or some knowledge about some things, especially if you're working a 9-to-5 and you really want to hone in on that entrepreneur creative side freedom type thing. So I hope y'all stay tuned because this should be pretty good. Alright, so my passion, if y'all don't know, is really just pushing everybody to be the best versions of themselves, right? So, and I've always said this little tidbit is if you're passionate about something, that's where you need to be. Regardless if you feel like it's impossible, that's legitimately where you need to be. Like people who love to help others, social work, people who get along in customer service, serving others, things like that. So right now, this episode I'm really passionate about because I speak about this a lot, especially with Egypt. And I really hone in, especially all of my friends. But I talk about this all the time. I said, you don't have to give up on your dreams in order to work a 9-to-5. You can still work that 9-to-5 and build your business, build your career, build your clothing line, build everything else. You don't have to go into it cold turkey, right? So I'm passionate about that. I have legitimately worked a 9-to-5 all the way to that creative freedom entrepreneur side, which I'm doing right now. And I just want to come to y'all and really just have y'all dive deep with me and hear my story so that maybe somebody out there will be just as inspired as I am right now to continue to pursue their dreams, but also have something consistent. Okay? So, and know that there's resources out there for y'all. Y'all don't have to do this by yourselves. Y'all legitimately, that's what I'm here for, to give y'all the 1, 2s, and 3s of going from 9-to-5 to entrepreneurship or whatnot. And I'm going to tell y'all, it's not for the faint of heart, okay? Like I said, I'm going to start with this story that my friend gave me to give to y'all. And she loves her 9-to-5, right? She loves her 9-to-5, but she told me the story of why she loves it and why she feels like she can't be an entrepreneur. And I'm going to say that you can do both, but I'm going to give you her story real quick, right? Uh-oh. But anyway, that's my 6-month-old. He called me. He was like that. Anyways, she gave me the story of she loves the fact that the environment that she's in is conducive to making the workplace as least stressful as possible. That means she told me she has a dope manager, dope co-workers that she loves to go to work with, and that's very rare to find. You don't find environments and spaces like that overnight. You find it when you're in something that you're passionate about. Just like nurses, some nurses will find a passion in their workplace that allows them to go to work without feeling like, I gotta go to this job, I gotta go to this place of employment. You be in your car, throwing bows at the air, and the air didn't even do nothing to you. But anyways, that's neither here nor there, but she stated something that I'm going to give to y'all. It's because of the environment and the people that are there. Some people don't like going to work because the people there are nasty, like real nasty, and that brings a lot more stress, that brings a lot more frustration, and then you get burnt out more, especially when they want you to do more than what your job description is. I'm just going to say it like that because I've had that before, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to give y'all that tidbit that, like I said, 9-to-5s are good for some people, not everybody. And you don't have to give up on your passions just because you work a 9-to-5. That 9-to-5 is consistent, that's structured. You have your benefits that come with that. In the entrepreneurship, I'm going to get to being entrepreneurship and on the creative side of things. but I want to hone in on entrepreneurship, and then there's something in the middle that I really want to talk about. So, when you have a 9-to-5, you have to figure out what in that line of work makes you want to work there. If you can't find a damn thing or reason as to why you want to work there, and you're stressed out and you're burnt out and they're making you do shit that you don't want to do, that you don't have a passion for, you're just going there because of a paycheck, yes, it's a consistent paycheck, but it's not something that you love. There's other options. Like I said, there are companies that want people who are in customer service or technical support. You can do remote work. And like I said, I've been in the 9-to-5 game. That doesn't always work for everybody, especially when it's not conducive to their lifestyle. Because again, at the time I was working a 9-to-5, guess what? I had 5 children. I was a single mom at that time. Period. And I really did not like talking to the majority of the customers. I worked more than I got to spend time with my kids at that point. And I had a lot of other things just going on. So, like I said, the 9-to-5, it really just depends. I've had some good 9-to-5s too, where the environment, the employees, they always try to make us feel welcomed and things like that, even though it was remote. But it can also make you feel isolated. So, that's just a little tidbit for remote workers. Get out and live your life. Just saying. Then you have, like I said, the entrepreneur aspect and things like that where, man, when I say I be in a panic trying to come up with ways of doing certain things and trying to get my business off the ground, and I know a lot of other entrepreneurs have the same effects. Like, they need to figure out, how do you promote, how do you market, how do you do this and do that. It's just starting out. And I was given a talking to about that because, again, entrepreneurship is not for the weak. You are literally grinding 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and you can either make a profit or you can lose profit. It really just depends on how hard you grind for it. And who's to say that you might be successful at it? And I'm always going to say I'm going to be successful at it because I put work into it. And if I'm putting work into it, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to make that happen. But it doesn't come with its own share of burnout too, especially if you're doing it all by yourself. So one thing I've learned, like I said, with my entrepreneurship is you got to delegate. You have to know, one, you ain't got to do that alone. If you have good partnerships with other people, whether that be friends, family, a business partner that you team up with in order to get your business off the ground, hey, do what you have to do. But like I said, that's not for the faint of heart. It brings no benefits, whether that's health, whether that's 401k, whether that's retirement, whether that's any of the things that I said about a 9-to-5. Because 9-to-5 is consistent and entrepreneurship is inconsistent. That means you're not making any money until that particular avenue takes off. But again, there is hope, right? I just want y'all to know that there is hope. What my mentor used to tell me, because he flips houses, he told me, until you build this aspect of your business, you still have to have that consistent, right? And I'm passionate about that when I say that. When he said that to me, that's something I say to everybody, especially entrepreneurs. Just because you have this business that you're putting your all in, you also have to have the money resources to go into it. If you're opening up and you have business credit, how are you going to pay them if nothing's coming in? Again, you have to have that consistent. You have to have that consistent avenue that helps to fund the business until that business takes off. And I'm straight like Chase with that one. I want everybody to succeed when it comes to entrepreneurship and their business and their side hustle, whatever they got their mindset on, right? But there's an avenue that gives you another set of freedom, right? And I took this avenue only because I needed something consistent, especially being a mom of 7. 7. Yes, God. 7. I got 7 babies. Oh, God. I ain't getting no more. Tubes tied. I'm just playing. Anyways, I found a niche that really gelled with my schedule, my lifestyle that I wanted, because I wanted to really be there for my kids and be able to go to their activities and be able to go to their graduations and take time off to go to the doctor if they sick, because I know sometimes 9-to-5s, they get mad at you for taking time off from your kids, and or if somebody's sick or if you're sick. Sometimes that's not your fault. You can't help that. Life be lifing, okay? But at the end of the day, like I said, I found something that gave me the freedom to have freedom and be my own boss, but also give me something consistent or whatnot. And I was outsourcing what I was already good at, and that's independent contracting or freelancing. I do independent contract work for the simple fact that it gives me consistent money. I know when it's going to come in. I know the date that the money going to drop. But I can also have the freedom of being around my kids more. Of making sure a home is home. Of also putting money aside for my business and building my business. And putting my time and effort into that when I'm not at work. Scheduling around all of my children's activities. Things like that. And just being able to go more places because, if I don't want to work today, I ain't got to work today. Oh, you laughing? Yeah, my 6-month-old is laughing in his sleep. That's funny. But anyways, I really want y'all to know that you can do both. When they say it's remote work is hybrid life, it is legitimately hybrid life. Okay, it has legitimately freed up my time to be able to do my podcast, to help with the clothing line, to get our acting stuff together, to get my production company up and running, to do all of these avenues, but still making consistent income. That's what I want y'all to hone in today. Y'all can do both. But if the 9-to-5 doesn't work for you, like I said, you need something consistent, be an independent contractor. Do what you have to do for self so that you can still be there for your family, be there for yourself mentally, and figure out what needs to be done for your business. Because I know the business side of it is more so what you're passionate about, what you would love to be doing every single day. My thing is, I have a passion for writing. So when I write, it fuels something in me to create something that nobody's ever really thought about. So I can listen, let me just give you a little spiel. My writing spills off of music, right? And one thing about me is, if I hear a good song, I can see a skit, acting, something like that in my head already, right? So that's the business that I'm doing. That's what gives me joy, is creating stories for people to kind of get out of reality for a little bit or whatnot. That's where Dream State came from. If y'all want to know what my production company is, Dream State, thank you very much. Anyways, but I really just want y'all to hone in on what I'm saying to y'all. What do y'all view success to be? I want y'all to ask yourself that question, because I asked myself that, and my other instructor, we did this program called the STAR program. It's a program that we went to for 5 weeks, and we graduated, and it basically taught us all the basics of what we really need to know in order to be successful in life. And this teacher, Miss Jane, she'll be on the podcast one day. Miss Jane, she basically kind of figured out what my purpose is. And like I said, it was writing. And my glow just sent her and said, that's what you need to be doing. That's what makes you happy. This is what you need to be doing. You don't want to be doing something that you're just doing to get a paycheck. For real. For real. If you really don't know. You don't. You want to do something that you will wake up every day. You'll go hard for it. Everybody is going to be like, yeah, I knew you could do it. Da, 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 da. Do what you're passionate about. Like I said, you can do both. You can have that consistent income. You can also be that business owner, be that entrepreneur or momtrepreneur, because us moms be trying to pursue the things so that our kids can see that you can still do it. Okay, go, do all the things or whatnot. That's what I always say. But like I said, I really wanted to come on here to really give y'all leadway into saying that y'all can do it all. You can have the business that you've always wanted. You can have the lifestyle that you want. I would just say make sure that you have a consistent flow of income and revenue. Because at the end of the day, once you have that consistent flow, you have something to fall back on in case you change your mind about what you're passionate about as far as entrepreneurship is concerned. Because entrepreneurship, you can be good at one thing and say, oh, I want to try that the next. And I've done that. So I want y'all to know that you always need to have something to fall back on, especially us mamas. We have our babies to take care of. We have our little ones to watch over. Single women, you don't have to be burnt out at this corporate job trying to climb the ladder to be this person, because are you truly going to be happy once you get there? And if the answer is no, and you don't even feel fulfillment once you get a raise or you get a promotion and you still feel this hollow emptiness, that is not where you need to be. It's not where you need to be. I hope and I pray that y'all will go ahead and, like I said, the corporate world is for some people, and the entrepreneurship, creative freedom is for other people. But I always suggest that you guys always have that consistent income coming, and it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt you. There are so many people doing it now. We just went to a film society because we're in this film society group here in Georgia. And a lot of them have full-time jobs, but they're still doing what they're passionate about. I've met filmmakers, cinematographers, photographers who have this business that they have on the side, but they still have a consistent income or whatnot until their business takes off. And that's fine. Like I said, there's some people who go straight, whole heart, and give their all into entrepreneurship and find the resources needed to start their business and hone into that and things like that, while also doing multiple side hustles. That in and of itself will burn you the fuck out too. So don't ever think that, oh, well, I'm just going to go hard in the paint for... Sorry, y'all. My lingo is just don't mess with me, okay? But anyways, I'm just gonna go hard for entrepreneurship, and you're trying to make income, consistent income, because like I said, entrepreneurship does not give you consistency. It does not. It gives you inconsistent. You have no benefits. There's nothing to fall back on. No nothing like that, right? And like I said, that 9 to 5 can burn you out. It leaves no freedom, no time. You might hate your job, but you go into it for a paycheck because it's consistent. You know when you're finna get it, all that time of other shit. So I want y'all to literally dig deep. What does success look like for you? Now, what success looks like for me? Success for me looks like financial stability. Making sure that I can solely take care of my family. Like I said, it doesn't always have to do with monetary. Wealth can come in a slew of things, right? When I think of wealth, I think of wealth of knowledge, wealth of mental clarity, all of these types of other things. Like I said, it goes in levels. I preach this to everybody too. Everything you do is in levels. Whether it's your job, you climbing the ladder, levels. Whether you're building your business, levels or steps, if you want to call that. Like, come on, y'all. There's levels to everything that we do and how we live our life and how we see our future and what inspires us. And I just want to come to y'all today because, again, you don't have to be burnt out and you don't have to panic and be in poverty either and be grinding. There is a source. Like I said, have that consistency until you can do what you're passionate about and that business takes off for you. I preach this to everybody. I preach this to myself. That's why I still have my business, but I'm also going to have my consistent income. Because, again, you have to have money in order to make money. And that's how shit shakes, right? Exactly. So, when I'm giving y'all these, don't be like, oh, she told me to quit my 9 to 5. No, I did not. I said, if that thing or that place of employment is burning you out, you're stressed out more than you're happy and happy-go-lucky about that job, and the environment is not conducive to your lifestyle, and it takes time away from your family, what you would rather be doing, find other resources. There are other resources. Your business, like I said, you have to make money in order to spend money. Your business is literally, you're going to have to give your all to your business. Literally, it's going to have to, because when I say I be having to be the editor, the promoter, the marketer, the accountant, the operations manager, I have to learn how to do certain things that I didn't think I was going to have to do. It's not easy. Because like I said, there is no guarantee. But if you put in the work, you make the time, you have the money to place into your business, you figure out what other resources need to go into being an actual entrepreneur, because you need your LLC. Some people need their LLC. Some people need an EIN number. Things like that. Like, y'all need to go look this stuff up because I had to. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. And like I said, I'm just kind of rambling because I really want y'all to kind of get what I'm saying. Y'all don't have to do just one. It's a hybrid thing. You can do it all. You can get it all. You can be it all. That's all I want y'all to do, is to get what y'all deserve. I want y'all to get the things that you have been manifesting for years. I want y'all businesses to be successful, but at the what are you going to put a price on your business when it still takes away from your family, when it still takes away from yourself, like getting that time for yourself, especially us mamas. Tell y'all, my thing I tell all my homegirls is self-care Sunday. You do something for yourself. You make that time. You put it in, whether it's you doing your facials, whether it's you doing your nails, your toes, whether it's you taking a bubble bath, whether it's you reading a book that's just for you. Do it. You will see such a change in yourself and how you take care of yourself and how you show up for yourself. But like I said, that's neither here nor there. Entrepreneurship, you have to learn to delegate. If you have a business partner, give them some responsibility and what they need to do to help the business move more fluently. You know, if you have a problem at your job, your 9 to 5, like I said, don't quit it. Find something else or whatnot and see if that fulfills you and keep doing it. Like I said, there are people that I know who work 3 9 to 5 jobs and they love it because they're doing something that they're passionate about. And you can find a 9 to 5 that you're passionate about without the trauma that burnout brings when you're in a environment that literally kind of takes you for granted. And like I said, find what you're passionate about. Your 9 to 5 will flourish. If you're in a 9 to 5 that is not conducive to your schedule or what you really want to be doing, try independent contracting. There are so many jobs looking for that right now of outsourcing, and you can be very, very, very successful in that. Like I said, there are resources out there for that. And I just want to see y'all win at the end of the day. So I'm going to say this because, like I said, as I'm talking to y'all, I'm talking to me too. I say this a lot. I just want to see y'all win. I want to see y'all manifestations come to life. And this is not just me rambling. This is legitimately how I speak to my friends, how I speak to my children, how I speak to the people around me when I'm inspired by something. So, like I said, you don't have to do all of this alone. You don't have to burn yourself out being, having the creative freedom. Because like I said, it gives you the amazingness of freedom. And I say this because I have so much time on my hands, but what am I doing with it? How can I put more into my business or whatnot of helping others and my website and all of these things, allow somebody else to do them. Like I said, I love independent contracting because it literally freed up enough time for me to really do what I needed to do for my kids, being at their graduations, being able to go to awards functions, and being able to go outside more with them and go to the beach more with them. And really, just like I said, that was my lifestyle. I wanted to have the freedom to be able to just get up and go. Independent contracting does it because it lets you create your own schedule. There are so many different companies that are out there that need what you have to give them, especially if you've been working a 9-to-5 and it's been customer service oriented and things like that. There are so many companies that need that. Don't quit your 9-to-5 because you hate it, but also look for other sources that you can do in order to, like I said, to get your business up and running. Never leave a 9-to-5 to full-blown pursue unless God himself told you, all right, I got you, I'm holding your hand, go ahead. That's the only time I'm gonna be like, all right, deuces. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to come to y'all saying, like I said, I know you have the corporate world, I know you have the romanticized life of entrepreneurship. It's okay. You can do both. You can do both. So, y'all, this is HB, aka Minnesota Born and Raised 88. And this is the Adulting Unplugged, the therapy session. Like I said, this one was about climbing the corporate ladders or the creative, like I said, the creative freedom that you get from entrepreneurship and which one you should try. Like I said, you can do both. You can do both. And I'm here for y'all. Y'all can DM me any questions y'all have or anything like that. Alright? See y'all next Sunday. Bye!